I don't know. I was in the red. I haven't been in the red for weeks.
Weird. You don't want to be in the red. Red sucks.
Red socks. Red sucks. I agree.
That's right.
Let's try this again. Episode 33 of We Were Gamers, a podcast about two guys who kind of play games once in a while and talk about them even more than they probably play them.
He's Andrew and I'm JJ, and we are used to be gamers.
It doesn't have as good a ring as We Were Gamers.
Yeah, I feel like we made a better choice than using that one. That was a good move on our part. High five to past us for not picking that not as good sounding name.
Oh, normally we do fantasy football at the end, but I am breathing a sigh of relief currently, JJ.
Why is that, Andrew?
Well, as we discovered last week, I didn't quite realize the implications of my game this weekend. We had a fantasy football party too. It was actually quite fun.
Yeah. We actually got almost every single person in the league in one room, which is pretty rare these days.
One of which lives in Northern California, and the other, I don't even know what to say.
I don't know what happened with the other one either. But yeah, we were. That's pretty good though. 10 out of 12 ain't too bad.
I like
Considering in past years, I think we've had sometimes only 6.
I think you can call that a quorum.
Oh yeah, it was certainly a quorum.
Anyway, I'm currently up 46 points in my final game, scoring my highest score of the year, JJ.
Scoring your highest score of the year in the toilet bowl.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, my team decided they really just couldn't see past, the terrible season. They had to show up one time.
Yeah, well, might as well show up when it counts, right?
Yeah, well, at least our draft position isn't based on it, so otherwise I'd be upset.
Yeah. There was a good suggestion, I thought, today for the would the first place number of points at the end of the season get a prize? I don't know if that's something we would be interested in doing, but I could see how if the person with the most overall points at the end of the season loses in the playoffs, they'd be bummed. Anyway, something for the league to talk about, potentially.
What if that person's second place and they already get a prize? Do they get double prizes?
Potentially, yeah.
Interesting.
But if they're first, obviously, they still just get everything, so.
So it's like the You Had Bad Luck award?
Or like if you lose in the first round of the playoffs, even though you had the most, or like you had most points, but you lost because other people got lucky, and you were in 5th place, even though you had most overall points.
What about instead the most points against award? So you feel better about having been just totally wrecked every week, even though you actually didn't do that badly.
Yeah, I've never heard of a league giving that award, but I can't say that it's. I don't know. I'd have to look at the numbers. Are you currently in that position?
Ooh, that's a good question. I do still have it open because the suspense earlier was killing me to see whether he was going to catch up.
Yeah.
But it seems quite unlikely now, down by 46.
46 is a lot of points, and the game is nearly over as we record this.
Yeah, given the current state of the game, I would say it's quite unlikely. Let's see, we can filter this by points. No, we can't. Oh, that's a bummer. Most points against goes to the last place team. John's going to get the toilet seat and most points against.
I imagine that's how points against would work anyway. Just in general, it would go to one of the bottom teams because why are you with one of the bottom teams? Because people scored a lot of points against you.
Yeah. But, points for is, one of the people playing for the playoff. I don't know. I kind of see what they're saying, but at the same time, if you're in the championship bracket, then
you have your chance. Yeah.
You have your chance.
Mm-hmm.
Try and get second.
Yep.
But I'm not opposed to bringing that up to the league. I'm sure some people wouldn't mind it. Break up the top, person getting 11 cases of beer.
Yeah, which seems like a lot, really. When it was only 60 beers, you could justify it. But when when it was 54 beers, I guess you could feel like it was all right because there were 60 total. But now that it's 72, getting 66 is just so much.
I agree. I had to store it last year. I like this not having to store it thing. And everybody brought decent beer. Nobody tried to Coors Light it.
Yeah, smart. Well, we talked about the game theory behind the Coors Light. If you bring the Coors Light this year, next year the karma is going to come around, and then you're going to be the person on top, and everyone is going to bring you Coors Light. What would you do with 70 Coors Lights?
Well, there won't be a Thompson on the toilet seat again.
Yes. Sadly, we'll have to wait for next year for that.
No, not going to happen.
No?
I'm headed back to the top.
We will see.
From the bottom, now we top.
We started at the bottom, now we here?
Yeah.
In the middle?
Yeah.
Where everyone is?
Sure, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that that's panning out. And, there's some decent fighting happening near the top.
Yeah, the playoff brackets are surprisingly close,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the game between my fiance and Michael was going to be a blowout, and it's within 10 points. And the other game is surprisingly close also, but only because the teams playing on Monday Night Football are both doing awful. So I thought that was going to be a blowout, but nope, he's close.
Oh, man. 3 points. It's just
crazy.
It's a nail biter, actually.
It's crazy.
You thought, oh, yeah, Kirk Cousins is left. That's his quarterback. There's no way he's going to... Oh, okay. We only got a quarter left, and he's got 5 points.
Not very good. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
We'll see how that pans out. That's very interesting.
It's a nail biter for sure.
So probably not much more fantasy football talk on the podcast for those of you
next
who
week is
this segment. About to be over.
Yep. Hey, I finally got in some Hearthstone this week, JJ.
What?
I know. Beyond my free packs, I have now played not two games, but 2 classes, a solid amount. Tried out the new stuff. I tried out some Druid Lotus, summoning Jade Golems stuff.
So, did you make the most important mistake that you can make as a Druid playing that deck and shuffle the first Lotus thing that you drew?
Shuffle the first Lotus thing?
So, this is very interesting. There's a 1-mana Druid spell. It gives you a choice. Either play a Golem or shuffle 3 copies of this card into your deck.
Okay. Yes, that card is in the deck.
You drew that card on turn 1. What do you do with it?
Ooh. I would, I have been holding it for my Auctioneer.
Mm-hmm. So...
I haven't been playing it.
Okay. Did you have a different play on turn 1?
One time maybe I had Living Roots, but beyond that, I would either innervate out something or pass.
Okay, but so if you had a play, with innervate to do something else or whatever, that's fine. Yeah. If you didn't have a play, you should play the 1/1.
Okay. Oh, 1/1, really? Not shuffle.
No. Oh my god, no. Shuffling is the worst thing you could do.
Ever?
Yeah.
Because I see people shuffling that in all the time.
Okay, so yes, shuffling it in is good, but not on turn 1, right? Because what you have done on... So think about it like this, and this is a good way to think about that card for anyone who wants to understand why shuffling it on the first turn is a mistake. If there was a 1-mana Druid spell that says, give all of your golems +1/+1, you'd probably play that, right?
Yeah, that's essentially what you're doing by playing it.
And if that spell also then summoned a 1/1 at the same time, you would definitely play that.
Yeah.
And that's what this spell does. If you play the golem on turn 1.
So if you get it late game is when you want to shuffle it.
Yes. And so if you have the Auctioneer out, and then you want to shuffle copies in because your deck is small, okay, that's fine. But if you have 10 or more cards less, I would say shuffling in is probably a mistake. You need to think about if you drew that card as your top deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be happy about getting a golem of whatever size?
Yeah, good point.
On turn 2, if you draw a 1-mana spell that summons a 2/2, are you going to be happy? Probably not. You're going to be pissed. So you want to start that golem train rolling as quickly as possible, and a 1-mana 1/1 on turn 1 is not bad.
Have you been playing that deck much? Do you like it?
I have played it a decent amount. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It is streaky in the way that all Hearthstone things are. Sometimes it's just I'm going to draw every card that costs 6 in my deck on the beginning, and you just lose. Or I'm not going to draw any of my ramping spells because this game hates me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I run both Wild Growth and the Golem producing version of Wild Growth that costs 3.
Right. I think you should do both.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that, for sure.
It's a lot of ramp, though. I've been considering cutting one of the 2 Wild Growths, but I think just 1 Wild Growth is bad.
I think it's worth running both, just because at the end of the day, if you have the Auctioneer out, you can play Auctioneer, and Wild Growth will give you 2 spells when you're at 10 mana, right?
Now, does the 3-mana version give you a draw card?
No.
Oh, ouch.
So because it doesn't give you, like, because it has another effect, I guess, they have said that, nah, you don't get anything for that. Apparently neither does the other druid spell from this expansion that gives you mana crystals based on how many dudes you have out. Shouldn't play that card anyway, but...
Well, I've enjoyed that, and I've been playing a little rogue thing that I put together.
Pirate Rogue? Arr, matey.
This is like a stealth, grab your cards style thing.
Mr. Steal Your Cards?
Yeah.
Like Mr. Steal Your Girl?
Yeah, with because I got Shaku.
Okay.
So I wanted to make a Shaku deck.
He's not good.
Oh, really?
Shaku kind of sucks.
Oh.
Yeah. Hate to break it to you, bro. But I was going to say, if you got patches, that would have been sweet.
I did not get patches.
Patches is pretty good.
Sorry. I didn't have that good of luck. I crafted Aya.
Yeah. She's pretty good. I mean, obviously, in all the golem things, you're going to play her. So
yeah.
The two decks that I know about that are both really good. I mean, the Pirate Warrior we talked about a little bit before, still good, but it's not like people have kind of figured out that you can play taunts again,
right?
And that significantly hinders that deck. But they have since transitioned to Shaman Pirates because it just turns out the pirates are really good. 1 mana 3/2s are really good, Andrew.
Yeah,
and Shaman has enough weapons that, you know, if you run 2 of those new weapon that summon the golems, you run those spirit claws, you run the spell that does 4 damage to the face and summons a golem, and then you just run the normal shaman stuff that everyone hates. You know, Tunnel Trog, Totem Golem, all that stuff. Pretty good aggro deck right there. Put patches in there and the little pirate guys that charge, and your small time buccaneer. There you go. That's a whole deck. Congratulations, pirate aggro shaman. I just made it right here on the stream.
There you go. We should try that. Play it. See how it goes.
It's a good deck. I didn't come up with this deck. People on the internet came up with it. It's really good.
Oh. It's
still really fun, even though you run into like a lot of I'm in charge now and I charge guys. Still having a good time. I think the golem stuff does work, and it's fun to, you know, late in the game you play the auctioneer and you draw a 1/1, draw a 1 mana spell and get a 6/6, and then you draw a 1 mana spell and get a 7/7, you 1 mana spell and you get an 8/8, you know, and then your opponent concedes.
I've had some fun. I was a little bit concerned since the last couple months of it had been so boring, so I like it. I'm hoping to get back on the ladder and try again soon. So
yeah, I think
it's cool. It's just a busy time of year, so
definitely very busy this time of year. So cool, man. Well, I'm glad that you finally got to try out some of the cool new stuff. Yeah, the fun that people have been having.
Well, I got to learn the cards, JJ, because I don't know if we're going to try this, but should we try doing this casting competition for Hearthstone?
I would be interested in trying it. I don't know like what exactly is involved.
I believe when I read it last year, and we decided, or a couple people decided not to try, was you make a video. They have a couple games.
So it has to be a video.
Yeah. You do a video, and they have like 3 games and like a set of games that you have to. They give you a backstory on some people. They give you some info, and then you have to cast as if you were watching it live.
I see. So you commentate over their video?
No, their video is literally just like game video. Like there's no commentary.
No, that's what I'm saying. You commentate over their video.
You commentate their video, but you videotape yourself.
Oh, I see. You videotape yourself commentating their video.
Yes.
Okay. So you watch their video while you talk about it.
Exactly.
And then you film yourself doing that.
Right. And hopefully you have some sort of chemistry with your on-air partners.
I see. Huh. That would be interesting. I don't know how you and I would accomplish that. But I suppose technology is a magical thing.
I just don't know if we'd be any good at it.
I also don't know. Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, this show is not is pre-recorded. It's not live.
Well, we kind of do it live. I don't know. We don't edit much.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of editing, but also we don't prepare either. So or don't prepare a lot. So I don't really know how it would go actually preparing.
Yeah, that would be my concern with Hearthstone.
Would we have to have a script? I don't know. That would be weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess maybe I just don't feel like I'm comfortable with the current meta as much. But the current meta is probably not what they would be putting videos out about.
Well, you got to have the color guy, and then you got to have the color guy is the one who has to be concerned with the current meta, and then you have the play-by-play guy who tells you, how to talk about what's happening on the screen in the kind of without restating exactly what people just saw. And then the color guy comes in, oh, he's probably going for this kind of strategy or this kind of thing.
Which caster is the Chris Collinsworth caster?
Chris Collinsworth is technically the color person.
Yeah, except the correct answer was none of them.
Yeah, that's correct, because Chris Collinsworth is the worst.
Yeah. Also, Chris Berman. Any sports person named Chris?
Chris Berman should have been fired 20 years ago, and somehow is still on air. Who knows why?
I don't know.
Yeah. They let him commentate one game a year, and it's the worst.
Can we get Bob Costas to do Hearthstone casting?
There's no way Blizzard can afford Bob Costas.
I feel like Bob Costas casts pretty much everything else: baseball, football, the Olympics, soccer, tennis.
He doesn't commentate though. He just comes on and does his little bit and then pieces out. Maybe you mean Joe Buck.
Oh.
Joe Buck does do everything: baseball, tennis.
Can we stop
whatever.
right there? I don't ever want to be mentioned in the same sentence as Joe Buck.
No, he's not your dream Hearthstone caster.
He just doesn't seem to know anything about anything.
That's because he does everything, so he knows nothing. He doesn't have any time to learn about all of it. He has to move to the next baseball game or whatever.
Or football
or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Too many sports.
What happened to having the John Gruden style coaches only or players that knew the game?
I mean, Chris Collinsworth is technically a player. The problem is that he was a player 57 years ago and now doesn't know anything about the modern game.
Seriously, why is
put Marshawn Lynch on there? That'd be a much more fun
that'd be
cast.
Aces.
That'd be really good.
What's his name that just retired from the Falcons, the tight end?
Oh, Tony Gonzalez. He's on one of the shows.
Yeah, but he's just like a 1 hour a week commentator
halftime guy. Yeah.
What is he not doing? I mean, he needs to be out there all the time. The dude retired 5 years ago. He's got knowledge of the current game.
He's on a TV contract. What do you want, man? He talks when they want him to talk.
Oh, I'm saying that TV contract needs to be better. They're doing a bad job. They're wasting him.
Yeah. I don't know. I would be happy to have him over Chris Collinsworth. You could replace Jim Nance too while you're at it. That guy is too old. Get him out. Fine with that.
Sure.
Controversial opinion.
Sure. I don't think there's anyone I would say you have to keep currently.
Of the standard commentators?
Yeah, across the board, any sport.
And a lot of the, if you're not watching the main game that Sunday, you're watching one of the off games, all those commentary teams are all interchangeable. I couldn't tell you who any of those people are.
Oh, man. Some of the radio teams are fascinatingly entertaining.
I think radio is fun to listen to, but they're super biased.
They're uber biased, which is why they're fun to listen to. But at the same time, it seems like to qualify as a radio broadcaster, you just have to be loud and not stop talking.
Well, because there's nothing else. If they stop talking, it's dead air. That's bad.
But none of them know any rules at all. At all. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've screamed at my radio that turnovers are automatically reviewed.
Yeah. A lot of the, radio is from a different era, Andrew. Back when people used to, listen to radio.
I mean, I still listen to podcasting. That's basically radio on demand.
Yeah. But we're not doing podcasts over NFL games. They probably would sue us.
How do you?
I'm not joking. We probably would be sued.
You would be sued for sure. You just have to try and figure out a way to not use any trademarked words or player names.
It would be an interesting test of free speech because the NFL claims they own all those things, but I'm pretty sure it's not possible to own someone's own account of a thing that happened.
They literally
live,
use
right?
the phrase "accounts of the game,"
which is, I'm pretty sure, not legal.
No, that means
they want to say they own the broadcast. That's fine.
Yeah,
they want to say they own the TV stream. That's a different. Sure, but they can't own me talking to you about a game. That's not. I can't see how that isn't just us having a public discussion about a public event.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway.
Man,
free speech lawyers could try and get on that, but that doesn't seem like we're the people to be this tested.
I know a few lawyers, but I don't think that I have the bankroll for that kind of retainer.
Yeah, that's the real problem, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got off track.
Whatever. What's a track?
Well, I think that's it, JJ. That's everything for the week, right? Nothing
no.
else big happened this week.
No, that can't be everything that happened. Can it?
No, that's it. I think that's it. I haven't been playing anything else that we need to talk about. I think it's time to go.
Are you sure you didn't play a new phone game that came out this week? Or were you too busy playing Hearthstone?
No, I don't want to tell people how addicted I am.
You don't want to tell people how addicted you are to Super Mario Run?
I have an iPhone, JJ.
Yeah, Andrew, I don't.
I haven't done anything other than you texting me that Super Mario Run was out.
Uh-huh.
Download it and then start playing it.
Uh-huh. That's literally all you've done?
In your
life?
I haven't looked into how to play it better. I haven't looked into like reviews of the game.
Uh-huh.
I really like this game.
It's good, huh? So as a person who hasn't been able to play it because apparently they own some kind of second-class citizen status phone, which has a bigger market share than the phone that they'd put it out on, they have only put it out on iOS. So I don't know what this game's about. You got to tell me.
Okay. I'm going to fill you in.
Tell the people.
Okay.
And me.
Settle. Look, get next to your Darth Vader burning on a pyre Yule log.
Okay. Settling down next to the Yule log.
It's a sign of the times that not only does the TV not play the Yule log anymore.
I mean, why should they? It's dumb.
Well, they did for a long time, like when when you stopped being able to burn wood, basically. People still like the crackling of wood, and so this time of year they usually have a channel dedicated to that. But in modern times, nobody watches their TV anymore. But now you can get never-ending Yule logs of all sorts of different types on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So
sign of the times.
We're sitting next to it now. We've got the YouTube window open. I see Darth Vader here. He's crackling. Tell me about Super Mario Run.
Oh, okay. So, you'd be sitting by the fire when you're a little kid, probably, and you'd have your Super Nintendo on and just be running Mario to the right all the time.
And that's what you do.
Yeah.
That's the direction he moves if you're doing good.
And if you're running Mario to the right in that Super Nintendo version of the game, or even any, like Nintendo Entertainment System, whatever you want, you have no care in the world other than whether you're going to make it over these little obstacles and get to the end, and then get on to the next world and do the same thing.
So you're telling me he has to jump?
He has to jump, JJ.
Okay.
Super Mario Run. Mario runs.
Okay.
Automatically.
Okay.
And he runs to the right.
So that's one of the two things we just talked about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they
have that.
Their decision to make this game, they said, well, we want people to be able to do it anytime, anywhere, all the time, and make it a Nintendo game. And so it should be played with one hand. And so the only thing you can do in the game, if you're talking about Mario, is press the bottom of the screen to make him jump.
Uh-huh.
And so the phone is held upright.
Okay. Like a phone is.
Yeah. Well, you don't turn it sideways like you'd think, like a TV watching Mario run the length of your phone, right?
No, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It doesn't rotate. So you control his jump distance and air time and all these other things based on how long you depress on the screen.
Ah, I see. So you can long tap.
You can tap. You can hold. You can hold and swipe to like cause yourself to kind of like stall in midair.
Can you do like the little twirly jump he can do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mario, though, doesn't really need your help because he auto vaults things.
Oh.
So he doesn't jump over them, but if you hit a pipe, he'll like kind of like climb it and like swing his legs over it. Or if you come to an enemy, he'll like climb over the enemies.
Okay. But that's probably slower than jumping?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
It's slower than jumping.
I assume you want to go fast.
And we'll get to that. You auto jump over these things, so there's really no lives in the game.
Okay. That's an interesting choice, not having lives.
There's a different thing that's kind of like lives, because you can still hit the enemies accidentally. If let's say you jump up from underneath them, and you don't have enough time to vault them, or you fall into a hole because you didn't jump over a ditch.
Or you jumped incorrectly over a ditch.
Yeah, more likely.
Yep.
You are saved by every level you get 2 bubbles. And the bubble grabs you and takes you back, a couple frames or whatever, and drops you.
Okay, gotcha. So like in those new Super Mario Brothers games where when you're the second person on the screen and your friend kills you intentionally,
exactly,
you get to float back up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You can gain more bubbles by hitting blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the bubbles seem really important, actually. They move you backward in the game a certain distance. So yeah, you might use them to save you, but once you're really good at the game, you might actually need them for something else, and I'll get to that.
Okay. That's 2 things you got to get back to.
Okay, what was the first one?
You were talking about how you would make the like double jump or the twisty jump, and then you said something about I forgot.
Okay. We're so good at this. So it's like normal Mario beyond that, right? Like you run the level, you grab gold coins, and then you jump on the flag at the end.
Okay. So it's like a Mario level, but on your phone.
Yeah. So there's 6 worlds. There's 3 levels in each world and a boss level. And they're just like a screen in the game.
Boss.
Hmm?
How do you do a boss in a game where you're always running? Does the boss chase you or something?
So I've only done 1 boss level so far.
Okay.
And I'll explain why in a minute.
Okay.
But the boss level ended with me having to jump past Bowser without getting hit by him at a certain amount of, I had to time it so I could get by him and then land on an axe, which then dropped a bridge below him.
Okay, that's pretty standard Mario stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you don't really fight the boss. It's just the hard level, and then you got to get by the boss and do something. At least that was that design of that level.
Okay. I mean, there are literal levels in Mario where you do exactly that thing. So, okay.
So if you're into Mario, that's it.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of into Mario.
Okay. We're gonna incept this though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Inception.
That's what I would call the game of Mario inside this thing. I don't know if you've turned this on Spot Pass on your 3DS, but a lot of the time, you'll get free software from them, and they'll be like, "Here's a demo of the new Dragon Warriors game."
Okay.
And you get like the first 20 minutes or something.
Mm-hmm.
The impression that I got when I first downloaded this was that they gave me the first 3 levels of the first world, so you couldn't even do the boss level for free. And then it was going to be a free-to-play style thing to get the rest of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a phone game. Phone games are usually free, and you have to pay for stuff in the game. That's how phone games work.
Sure. And I hadn't really clicked around much, but I saw that there were a lot of different places for multiple currencies. I think I counted 11 currencies.
It's a lot of currencies. That sounds like a phone game.
Uh-huh. I got real worried when I saw the rest of that.
$99 best value. Buy 1 million coins, which you can translate into mushrooms, and then get 7 mushrooms for your star, and 2 stars gives you a pull from the random slot machine.
So I beat the first 3 levels, and I got to the boss level, and it said to play the boss level, you can try the first 20 seconds of it, but then you have to buy. I was like, okay, here we go. And they were like $9.99.
Whoa.
Hold on. The $9.99 gets you the rest of the 6 worlds.
Oh.
The whole thing.
So the game is just $10 if you want to play it.
Yep. Much like the 3DS games, it's just 10 bones. And I was like, okay, well, then where do they get you somewhere else to pay money? Right?
I mean, if you already paid $10, they shouldn't do that.
You're right. They don't.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So
if they made you pay $10, then we're like $9.99 best value for coins, I was gonna throw this microphone and be angry.
I looked as hard as I could before we started this podcast because there's a lot of currencies that I can talk to you about in a minute, and how you get them and all that. And I was like, there has to be a way to buy these type. Oh no, it's not there. Oh, there has to be a way to buy this type. No, there's nothing there. But there is a lot of free-to-play style stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I should. I mean, there's a lot to talk about and unpack because once you get beyond that fact that you can just play Mario on your phone and you don't have to like press the right button, you just jump like you would in a normal Mario game. A lot of people, I think, are gonna just like that part a lot.
Okay.
But there's a lot more on top of that they also added in here. Like I said, it's an incepted.
Yeah, I want the deep.
Yeah.
I want level 2 and level 3 Mario. Let's assume people listening to this have played Mario, even if that's not true.
Okay.
They understand that you can jump,
all right,
and you don't want to fall in
the pit. I said you paid $10 for 6 worlds and 4 levels essentially on each world.
Right. That doesn't seem like that much.
$10 for 24 levels. What's 24 times 3? 72.
2? Yeah.
You paid $10 for 72 levels, JJ.
Wait. But how, Andrew?
Each level has gold coins.
Okay.
But they also have 3. Oh, they also have another colored coin on the map. So each level is more like 4 levels. So it's like, how do you even do that? 96. Think of the coin color like the difficulty level. So you can play the level and beat it without collecting any colored coins.
I mean, other than normal.
Other than
coins.
just regular gold coins. But regular gold coins you don't even need. You know, like in a normal Mario game, you need the gold coins to open the next world. Right.
It's not true, but okay.
Well, but you need gold coins for stuff, right? Like to move on.
You get a life when you get 100.
Okay, so there's no lives. There's no buying of worlds. You just beat a level by literally going through it and touching the flag at the end. And that unlocks the next one.
Okay.
And then you can go back and play it. So that's like easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Normal, I would call. They have pink coins on the map. And every map has 5 of these colored coins. If you collect all 5 of the colored coins...
The pink ones. You no longer collect pink coins on that particular map. Okay. The map then changes to purple coins. The map itself and the enemies and the timing of everything and the blocks, everything stays the same, except that the colored coins and the gold coins are now in different places. Oh, so you have to take a different path to get all the new coins.
Exactly. The path that you run on the map changes completely. Sometimes you'll be running through a map when you're doing the pink coins and you'll be like, why would you ever go that way? Because there's arrows pointing up and down. And you're like, well, sure. I would only ever go, oh, okay. So then the purple coins I would call like medium.
Is it really pink and then purple? Those are like close.
I know. I see why they did it, because the third color is black.
Oh.
Right, so it goes like light to medium to dark.
Uh-huh.
Medium was fine. Like purple I could do. Black is really hard. Like really, really hard.
So they like really turn it up for the max
You
level.
have to do like some backward jumping and like leaping off enemies into air stalls, into like bouncing off of a side of a mountain.
So they actually made it difficult in some cases.
Yeah,
That's cool.
They didn't hold back. You're gonna have to play the level a lot, and for me, probably have to watch somebody do it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's it's good that they have that. So a complaint I frequently have with Nintendo stuff. In general, and this goes for all their games, actually, not just Mario ones, and definitely not just their phone stuff, since they don't have a lot of phone stuff. But is that they'll have these really cool ideas, like in these the 3D Mario games, right? They have these really cool ideas, and you only get to see it once. It's like they have this really awesome mechanic where every time you pick up, you get in your cat suit or whatever, you can climb up the wall, and it's cool. He's a cat, but then it's like they teach you that you can climb up the wall 57 times. And you don't do anything cool or interesting with the catsuit until like the second to last world.
Yeah,
they spent 8 worlds assuming you didn't know how to use the catsuit, and then by the very end they're like, he probably knows the most basic thing you can do. And then they have like bonus stages after you beat the game where they like require you to have some level of skill, and it's like a ridiculous amount of time to get to the good stuff.
No, I don't think that that's the case here, especially because talk in a second about characters.
Okay.
And I had that feeling also that you're talking about, like, well, they have all these other things, but by the time you get these other things, you're going to beat the game. And I think the black coins is going to bring a lot of those things that you worry about, like, to rest, because I don't know that Mario can actually accomplish everything.
You just see some and you're like, how do I even get there?
I don't even know how to get there.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah. So not only is there what they call the World Tour mode, which is the normal Mario game, there's also something called Toad Rallies. So did you ever play Mario Kart, the new one? Mario Kart 8?
Yeah, definitely. That game is great.
Do you remember doing the races against like Ghost?
Yeah, like a little bit. Yeah, you have to like beat a time, and the Ghost sort of shows you.
The Ghost kind of shows you the time. Mm-hmm. So they have another mode in the game where they have a couple like rally levels.
Okay.
That you run against a paper ghost of another person in the real world.
I see.
And their time on this level essentially. And you have to do things like jumps and flips and all these other things on the level, like a lot of flair with your jumping and collecting more coins than the ghost in running through the level with a lot less time.
I see. So you want to basically, it's like one-upsmanship kind of stuff. You want to do cooler and better than the person whose ghost you're following.
Right. Essentially a high score run, but they have a lot of different things you can look up in the help menu on like how to get the toads in the game to think you're cooler than the other person and give you bonuses.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. To do these Toad Rallies, you need Toad Rally tickets. So here's currency number 2, right? We already have gold as a currency.
Yeah, but like, what do you do with the coins, though?
Okay, so the gold coins, and the pink coins, and the purple coins, and the black coins are all currencies. Toads that you get from doing the Toad Rallies, Toad Rally tickets, which all this is obtained in order to gain different things in the game. Gold, so I guess I should explain the third part of the inception of this, right?
Yes, more inception.
The tour and the rallies are a pipe from your kingdom.
Okay.
Your kingdom was destroyed by Bowser at the beginning of the game, and you're rebuilding it.
Standard Mario stuff.
Okay, but to rebuild it, you use gold and toads and black coins and purple coins and all these other things to buy buildings.
But and then the buildings make you coins and toads and stuff?
Some of the buildings do nothing. Some of them are just cosmetic. Some of them are pipes to special levels. Some of them... Here comes the free-to-play stuff. Some of them can be used every 8 hours to get you more rally tickets.
Ah. Gotcha.
That sort of stuff. There's actually 5 different colors of toads in the game. And each combination, like you need 10 purples or 10 reds and 10 greens, and you can unlock this type of building. And then when you click on this building every 8 hours, it takes you to like what was those levels where it was just coins, like coins everywhere?
A bonus stage or something.
Like you can go to a bonus stage every 8 hours, or you can hit this question mark block every 3 hours, or
So it really sounds like they're more just using this stuff to kind of like gate your progress, so you don't just beat the game the first day by sitting and playing it for 10 hours.
That was the impression that I got, was literally they're trying to gate people by using free-to-play mechanics in a non-free-to-play game, so people have to like play it, but play it slowly.
Yeah.
Which goes to Nintendo's whole like, well,
Weird.
every 20 minutes your Nintendo Wii tells you to go outside.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's like the opposite of how most free-to-play games work. They want you to never put the phone down, keep playing, always do something, spend more money,
It's kind of nice, and it also helps.
Interesting.
It helps the Toad Rallies. My one complaint with the game so far is that the Toad Rallies, you play against whoever. It's like random. There's no seeding. There's no MMR. There's no nothing. So like, freaking this dude with Harambe or whatever is just...
Yeah, what's wrong with Harambe, man?
Okay.
He died for our sins.
Are we not over Harambe yet? Aren't there more important things going on?
He died for our sins.
Harambe is sitting at the top of my queue, and you can tell he's better than most people because he's got 10,000 toads already, and
I
have 35.
Would you guess that maybe Harambe is a hacker?
I don't know. I don't know if the game is hackable, but it doesn't seem like it would take you a long time to accumulate that. If you buy the game, they give you a lot of different things. They give you gold, they give you tickets, they give you toads.
Ah, I see. So maybe he bought the game and then has just been playing a lot.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days.
Like I said, you can use that stuff to gate the progress, but if you just kept playing and playing and playing, you get a lot.
Sure.
It's cool though. I mean, there's a lot of those aspects, right? And like you have to get through certain worlds to unlock different colored toads. So it's going to take time to unlock all the buildings and things like that if you don't play literally nonstop.
Yeah, yeah. But it sounds like kind of all that building stuff is sort of ancillary to the actual playing of the game, though.
Seems
right?
like you don't. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier.
Super Mario doesn't run in any of that. It's just kind of like some stuff you can do on the side.
Yeah.
To do other stuff.
Yeah, you need not do the Toad rallies or the kingdom building to play the actual game of Mario.
Okay.
Like you can literally just log in and play the, what did we decide it was, 96 worlds of Mario?
Whatever, yeah.
Or 96 levels if you just did all the coin stuff and if you just took that at value of, okay, I beat it on easy, medium, normal, hard,
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Just do the courses and then you can say, I don't want to do the rest of that stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect your gameplay.
Yeah, it's not like you're not going to unlock
Nope.
Mario 2 or whatever because World 7 because you didn't get enough toads or whatever. You just beat the level before World 7 and then you can play it.
Now, the only thing you may not unlock, you would not unlock, would be the other characters in the game.
So are there people who run besides Mario? Is that what you're telling me?
You can run other people besides Mario. So, like, you hook up your My Nintendo account to the game, and you get, like, that's another currency, the My Nintendo currency, because you can use that to get stuff in the game by accomplishing, weekly quests and stuff like that. So if you do the linking, you get Toad, and he can run instead of Mario.
Like Toad, Super Mario 2 Toad?
Uh-huh.
He's fat and like a little bit faster.
He's a little bit faster, yep.
Okay, and he jumps.
Yep.
His jumps all suck, and he's the worst character?
Uh-huh. You get that one.
He was only good in Mario 2 because he could carry stuff.
Well, look. He's in there. He can run faster.
All right.
Luigi, and he can jump.
And his jump is weird, where he wobbles all the time because he's tall.
Yep, but it's tall. It's a long, high jump.
It's a big jump.
Yep.
Right, because Luigi's tall. Tall people can jump, which is something that may not necessarily be true.
Peach.
Does she float?
She does float.
That seems overpowered in a game about jumping.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Especially considering once you get further into the game and there are blocks that affect your movement. Like, if you jump on those blocks, it sends you backward.
Well, but maybe you want to go backward.
You do want to go backward, but imagine if you could go backward and then float.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of characters to unlock. I'm not sure if I got all of them or not. I think
you have those 4?
I don't have them. No.
Oh, I see.
I'm just saying I'm not sure I mentioned all. There might be more.
There might be more than those, but those are the ones you've seen.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's cool, man. It feels like a Nintendo game. It doesn't feel like a phone game. Once you get into...
Well, that's a good thing, I think.
Once you get into it enough to realize it's not a free-to-play extravaganza, and that there's a lot of this gating 8-hour stuff, but, like, I have so many rally tickets right now and so much gold from playing the same level over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I tried the same level a bunch to just, like, see how the different, like, coin routes were and all that, and I have, like, more
I imagine
gold.
It's the kind of thing you would need to do if you wanted to be able to get good enough to get all those black coins or whatever.
Exactly. And each time the coins change, you got to start running it over and over and over again. I have tons of currency already. Like, the only thing I don't have a ton of is toads because I haven't done a bunch of toad rallies.
So, Andrew, here, help me with this. What if I get, like, a coin? Like, say I'm, like, trying, some purple route, and I get, like, a coin, but then I only get halfway through and I fall down a pit too many times and I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to start over. Do I keep my coin or
no,
do I have to
you got to get all 5 in one run.
Oh man, whoa. Okay, game changer.
Yeah,
that's tough, man.
not easy.
Okay, and that goes for all those colored coins
Right.
then, the purple ones and the black one. Man. Okay, interesting. That's a cool idea. I would like to play this game. Too bad it's not out for a lot of people.
I don't know if the levels get longer. They're not extremely long. They're memorizable.
I mean, I imagine there's a limit to how long they could make them if they want you to perform at that kind of a high level for a long period,
Yeah.
But, I mean, they'll get a little bit longer, I would assume, or more complicated anyway.
Yeah, it definitely has that Nintendo weirdness where you're like, wow, none of this makes any sense. Like, they gave me a hammer for something, but they don't explain what it is. They're just like, here's this hammer. Thwumps don't like it. I'm like, okay, but you don't use items on the levels, so what is it for? And then I had to like dig around and go into the builder menu and then go to special build. Oh, look, there's the hammer, and you can use it to break up thwumps on the map. Okay.
Like, what was under the thwumps on the map?
More space to build.
More space to build.
Anyway, it's just like there's that weird Nintendo edge where they kind of like throw stuff in they don't tell you about, like the air stall. They don't tell you how to do that. You have to look it up in the menu.
Yeah, that advanced mechanics.
Mm-hmm. But it's still a simple game, even though it's like you have these different aspects of it that you can do. So
yeah, so like you could see all the levels, right? Like
yes.
If you were a person who was not good at this game, and you would be able to play all the levels and beat all the bosses probably.
Yes.
Without a ton of work.
Yes.
But you're not going to get all those black coins unless you get good.
Right. Yeah. I think that like I could get all the purple coins in the game without looking anything up. So like the second level of coins, I could probably, based on the first level when I played it a bunch, I got through the purple coins. It took me a little while, but I did it.
You had to practice a few times or whatever.
Especially, on the purple, you're kind of like, okay, I know where I have to jump for that. I know where I have to jump. But when you get to the black coins, it's kind of like, okay, now you got to really be good at the mechanics of the jumping, not about just memorizing which way to go on the level and when to jump.
Okay, interesting.
Like mechanics of bouncing backward, air stalling, twisting in midair, that sort of stuff.
Interesting. Huh.
So it's a deeper game than I gave it credit for on its surface, for sure.
Well, that's cool. I'm happy they were able to find something that can meet both of those needs.
I hope.
Definitely a lot of people were, let's say, afraid that this game was just going to be a mobile phone game.
I like I said, I haven't read any reviews of people that have played all the way through to the end to see if it like loses its luster per se, but for the amount that I'm going to be able to play it, trying to play Hearthstone and trying to get in my Overwatch games during the winter thing and Christmas time. And it's like, I'm going to play it a couple hours a week, maybe less, probably.
Right.
I'll enjoy it.
So I know some opinions I've seen out there on the internet have been mixed. Some people really like it and thought that they enjoyed the surprising depth like you have been talking about. And I know some people that were kind of like, this doesn't seem like it's very much. I don't want to just replay these levels a bunch of times. They played their first 3 levels and were like, I'm done. I'm not playing this game anymore.
It seems like a short, like taking the short route. I've had no trouble. I think it's a game that you have to take as I'm going to play this one level until I've mastered it. And then I'm going to move on. Because once you've mastered it with black coins, you don't ever go back to it, right? You're going to earn so much currency.
I mean, I think it's a fair thing to say that someone doesn't just want to replay the same levels over and over.
Yeah, but it's not exactly the same, I guess, because of the way that the coins shift.
But if you want to do new Nintendo level things, then this game really only has would you say 6 worlds times 4 levels?
If you're just going to run through all of them and not pay attention to the coins, it's not worth the money.
A lot of people play Mario games just to beat Bowser at the end, and then they're done.
Okay, yeah, and then I would say that this is not worth it if you're literally just going to run through the 6 worlds.
Okay, I'm just saying that that's a perspective I have seen.
Okay, yeah,
people are like, I don't want to spend playing this level 50 times to catch these coins because that's not what they want to do.
I understand, and to me, the value of the $10 is not based on the 6 times 4. That's why I mentioned it earlier.
Right.
Right? Like, to me, $10 was spent on, 6 times 4 times 4 times building a world and then also doing these toad rallies. Like, the toad rallies are infinite.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
For myself, I would like to try this. I think it sounds fun. I'm just saying that there are some people who thought it was kind of a small offering for $10. And $10 is a lot in terms of a phone game. Like, most phone games that you pay money for are like $3 or $4.
Yeah.
Paying $10 is a lot.
I think this is more than $10, and because they don't expect people to just run through it and stop.
Yeah.
And I think that I can understand the idea, and I say to them, then this isn't your Mario game. It's not that type of game. It's a mastery style. It's Flappy Wing style thing where people play the same level over and over and over again.
Sure. I'm trying to take devil's advocate here a little bit. In their defense, there are a lot of these runners are a very popular genre of phone game, right?
Right.
Many, many, many types of other runners out there. And someone brought up one of these runners that has hundreds and hundreds of levels, and it costs $4.50. Why would they play? And that one also is, to them feels good.
Mm-hmm.
$10 versus $4.50. Like, I think that was where people were coming from in terms of that, right?
Hearing a thing that says, okay, well, we've got 100 levels.
Or like $199.
Yeah, but 100 levels. You're talking like Angry Birds at this point. It's just mindless at a certain point, right?
You would assume. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, that's that you're getting into Candy Crush style, just like.
I mean, there are a lot of people that really like Candy Crush.
I understand.
Andrew. Or those kind of games have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of levels because people like them, I assume.
If you were going to play it as a runner and not try to master each level, right, and get the black coins, and you're not going to build the world, and you're not going to do the toad rallies, and you're not going to try and unlock more characters, this game's worth $3.
Okay.
But you're paying, I would say, the extra $6 for a Nintendo Polish, Nintendo Experience, replaying the levels, building the world, and really wasting time on your phone with a game that feels good to waste your time in, rather than, well, I'll shoot some birds across my screen and like try and knock things over, or play runner game where I just turn my brain off. Okay,
I'm not trying to say that your position is wrong.
No, I
here.
know.
I'm pointing out that in terms of the mobile phone market, this is
it's
a tough sell for a lot of people. I think $10 is an expensive proposition in the mobile phone world.
I understand that.
The markets have reacted. Nintendo lost a good chunk of money in their stock price recently after this game did not live up to expectations.
Oh, it didn't?
Apparently not.
Wow, really?
That's what I saw in the news. So.
Well, that's too bad. I feel like it was a worthy offering in terms of should have been a little cheaper, maybe, I guess. But in the back of my mind, I kind of feel like in a couple months, since it's probably already been planned, in a couple months you'll probably see a $2 or $3 expansion.
Oh, that would be interesting. Maybe that's their plan, to release more and more levels as time goes on for, $5, $6.
It would be super easy to do. Just add more levels.
Interesting.
Anyway, I guess I'm in the minority. It really felt like I had to concentrate on what I was doing.
I mean, that's cool. I think it's cool that they finally made it a good, fun phone game.
Well, an actual game instead of Miitomo or whatever that was.
Whatever that thing, social network, not a social network, creepy, weird, like, data collecting thing.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, I got a lot more enjoyment from this than I did that stupid Pokemon game.
Okay.
Walking around my neighborhood, throwing Pokeballs at nothing, going to a gym you can't even train at.
Pokemon is a lot more of a social game. This does not seem to be very social.
You mean the Pokemon Go is social?
Yeah. Yeah, it's more fun to do stuff together.
I mean, that's...
Also, you need to live in a city, not in a suburb.
Yeah. And,
Or not in a rural area.
Not in a rural area, or... I don't know. We've already taken on and won our argument against Pokemon Go. That game's dead.
Okay. There have been a lot of updates to it. I don't know anything about them, but
I don't think it's our responsibility to know. The game's terrible. We don't want to cover it.
Done.
I think that's it. I don't know that I can talk anymore about it. I thought it was good. I hope that it's not proven wrong when I get further into it.
Well, I would like the chance to ever eventually play it.
Nope.
So Nintendo, bring it out on Android phones.
Nah.
No, don't do it. Screw it. Let it languish in iOS land where no one wants to pay $10 for it.
I guess if it performed that terribly, maybe they better hurry up and get it on Android, huh?
I don't know. They said they wanted to put it on iOS. We didn't mention that it requires your phone to always have an internet connection.
I did not know that, so I wouldn't have mentioned it.
Do you want to play this game on the plane, Andrew? Does it seem like something you could do to while away the hours while you're on a flight?
Yeah, it would seem like a great thing to do on a plane.
Nope, get bent, can't do it.
That'll get updated, I'm sure.
I doubt it.
Really?
They said it's because they don't want it to be pirated. So there you go. Make sure you play your Mario game on the internet. Or if you're on a subway and you go into a tunnel, too bad.
That hurts my brain.
Yep, seems like a crazy mistake. Crazy choice. I have no idea why they would do that.
That alone sets me a little bit aback.
So, like, to be fair, it is very common for most places that most people live, there's always an internet connection. That's very common to be, right? If you're just sitting in your house, you probably have an internet connection, Wi-Fi or your cell phone, right? Most places you would go, you would have that. But there are a lot of people who live in cities that have to take, buses that go through weird areas or tunnels and subways and things like that operate underground where you don't get good cell service. And none of those work. And in Japan, a country who you would think Nintendo would care about, there's a lot of that stuff. So, I don't know. Weird choice, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that even in Japan, they have internet on the subway because they have internet on the subway.
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe it's not so big a deal then.
Not there. Certainly here, it's a bigger deal. Yeah.
Like people in New York would be pissed, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to play it. I was thinking, I could play this on road trips up to 5 or something, but half the way there, you wouldn't be able to play it.
As long as you have cell service, you could, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I wonder how much data that uses. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
questions for other people, not us.
Considering that I don't play games much when I'm not in the house because I'm usually driving or doing something.
Yeah, same.
I don't think that impacts my life. It probably impacts somebody else's life, but I'll revisit. Maybe I'll change my mind and say this is a bad game, but it seems good off the front.
I mean, I don't think you need to just change your mind and say that it's bad. I just think people can be informed and decide if that's going to affect their daily playing of it or non-daily playing of it or whatever. Just be knowledgeable. That's what I say. Good to know stuff.
That's the Super Mario rundown.
I like that. The Super Mario rundown. We ran all there is to talk about of that game out of it.
I feel like this is the most I've ever talked in an episode.
You did a lot of talking in this episode, and I think you did great.
Yeah.
It's good. I am excited to gain this knowledge from someone who's actually played it. Because like I said, I don't have an iOS device. Most of my coworkers and friends don't have them. My fiance does, but she was not interested in this. So, maybe this podcast will change her mind.
It's certainly an interesting game if you're into Nintendo games. It definitely feels like a Nintendo game. So if you're like, where's my Call of Duty special modern space warfare? This is not the type of game for that type of person.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like you can play those first 3 levels you said for free. So people should be able by that time, after completing those, to sort of get a feel for how if you think this is going to be good or not. You should be able to tell by then, since apparently those 3 levels are quite a bit.
If you are a person that plays those first 3 levels and you say, well, I definitely have no desire to go back and try getting these other coins, these other colored coins, and then trying again to get the next colored coins, it's probably not worth $10.
Okay. Well, that's the definitive review right here. Andrew says
whoa.
that sentence.
Whoa. if you're the type of person that plays a Mario game, especially the newer ones, and you try to make sure you get all the stars, this is your type of game for $10.
Okay, that's the definitive review from Andrew right there. If that's not your type of game, it's not your type of game. If it is your type of game, it's your type of game.
I feel like the second part of that felt more fair when you dropped the episode ender in the middle of well, it sucks if you don't like that type of thing. Oh man. Well, next week is the beginning of action-packed holiday. We'll be back for a short holiday themed episode and
do some holiday themed, give some holiday cheer to people.
Yeah,
that sounds really fun. I think talking about the holidays will be nice.
It will be, and hopefully everyone has a nice break and week off. If you get a week off, if you don't,
hopefully you do.
We're there with you in spirit, and we'll still be putting out a podcast for you to listen to while there's no one else in your office.
That's right. Enjoy all your family time. Hopefully you get some family time around the Christmas, and if not, make it a friendsmas, and y'all have a good Christmas and or Hanukkah or whatever.
I'm gonna go run some Mario, but first, where can people write in their holiday gaming guide, JJ?
Podcast at wewergamers.com. That's an email address where emails could be sent. If you want to engage with our social media, you could definitely follow us on Twitter at wewergamers, and then get at us at that address and tell us all things that you want us to know about.
The ats at.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of adding. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/wewergamers. Like our page, comment, subscribe. We are on Instagram at wewergamers. Maybe we'll get some holiday stuff up there over the holidays. Who can say? Very busy time. No way to know. I think that's all the social media. Did I forget one?
We're on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Leave a review
we're on
if
Stitcher.
You think that... What?
Yeah, we're on Stitcher.
Yeah, that's
rad.
Pretty cool, man. That means we're a real podcast, I think.
It means we're real.
They review those things or something.
Unknown.
Reviews are good. If you,
they're good. Drop us a review on iTunes or wherever your podcasts are sold. Give us some stars. Tell them how rad this place is. Pretty rad.